back again for another one. Okay, so let's see. I'm actually going to crank this one out, and it's Saturday, as you can kind of tell. I'm pretty sure you can see that up there. So we're going to do, we're just going to kind of jump in. And I hope, I guess, before we jump in, that everybody's trading week has been profitable. It has been a little bit crazy, especially with the news. But if you were keeping your eyes kind of glued, you were able to make some profit. So I just wanted to say too, like, when putting on a trade or opening up a position, deciding that you're going to go in on a trade, don't just and I have a bad habit of this, so this is why I'm bringing it up. Don't just focus on just that pair. There could be other pairs making huge moves, and because you're maybe waiting, and that was kind of something that I did on AU this week. It was kind of back and forth and a little bit of consolidation until it hit this big day. But just try to keep your mind open to other pairs and the possibility of what they could be doing and some of those pips that you could be collecting. So if you are new, my platform is basically best for those who are swing traders or intraday traders or day trading. We don't do too much scalping here. Could we possibly do that in the future? Maybe, or maybe eventually I will have somebody kind of talking to you a bit more about that, but that is not really my trading style. So for the most part, if you are day trading, intraday trading, or swing trading, this is probably going to be the best strategy for you. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to start with AU. Kind of how I was talking about it a couple minutes ago, in regards to just some of the larger moves that kind of happen. I've been kind of stuck. In a little bit of a consolidation moment with AU, and then AU kind of ended up going in the other direction than what I had expected. I still held to the position. Let me start on the weekly real quick. I still held to the position because it still hadn't reached past a certain point in which I had set up my stop loss. So I'm actually currently still, I'm not sure if I recommend this, but I'm currently still in a position and waiting to see what's going to happen. And the reason why that is because I keep looking at how price is moving, and I don't see price moving too much further than around this area. So once I see the price has kind of gotten up here, we're starting to move a little bit past this space, then I'll be looking to take myself out of the position, and either switching it and going in a bullish direction, or maybe just switching over to a different pair altogether as of right now. So let's jump over to the daily real quick and see what that looks like. So I'm pretty sure I'm sitting right above here just to kind of give myself a little bit of space. It's something that we're working on. But I definitely was able to see that zone that was kind of starting to create. Let me pull this guy over a little bit. So I was starting to see that zone that it started creating, where it had been previously treating this as support, and it broke through, and then we were looking what comes up to be a retest, and now we're hitting this as a resistance. So I expect it to continue to keep hitting this as resistance. Of course, time will tell, and we'll know a little bit more as time progresses. But if it continues to keep using this as resistance, and we're able to see price hopefully get past here, and we don't see consolidation once it gets into this space. But once we're able to see price get past here, then we'll see like a take profit 1 will be sitting about right here, take profit 2, simply just looking at over here at where price was previously at. So take profit 1 from over here to be over there, take profit 2 be sitting right here, and this will be my last one to take profit 3. It's always, I try to keep my eye when it comes down to hitting like that last take profit. Sometimes it doesn't always make it there, so I would just keep my eye around that time frame. It's probably going to take a little while to get down there, because remember, this is on the daily. But let's go ahead and jump to the 4 hour real quick and take a peek and see what that looks like. All right, so I'm going to squeeze out a little bit. Let me see. I actually don't want to keep this on here just so it's not super confusing for you. I know what it is, but I don't want to confuse you, and I want it to be as naked as possible, because I feel like it's the easiest. It's the most clear for me to see my market. But I mean, to each their own. If something else is helping you see the market a little more clear, you have some indicators on there that are helping you to see it, and that's fine. I just do mine a little bit naked. But I will say, in the beginning, when I started to trade, it wasn't always the case. It's something that kind of happens as you you tend to progress as you get a little more educated when it comes down to the market, and you're able, you get a little skin in the game. You've been in it for a little while. You can see your levels. You don't need necessarily indicators and things of that nature to kind of help you see that. So it just comes with time. So just give it some time. But as of right now, just kind of scooting over and wanted to see this as a whole. Some of these are going to be green and red, and then it's so weird on this new platform, this Forex platform. Some of them are going to be red and some of them are going to be black, so don't mind that. But so right now, I'm simply just checking, wanting to see price get down to this. I think this is where we're at. Let me see. Actually, maybe a little bit lower than that. My mistake. But so I'm really just waiting for price to get here, then seeing what price does once it gets here. Hopefully we get a break below, and then we'll just ride it until we can no longer ride it anymore. You see all this extra space where price would previously kind of go to on this side where price is currently at. So right now, I am currently in a bearish position, and we're waiting to see if price is going to keep continuing to reject here, or are we going to get a breakthrough and then a retest. So if that happens, if we get a breakthrough and it doesn't trigger some type of fake out, where it just kind of goes up and then comes right back down, and then we're going to continue down kind of thing, then if I see this breakout, retest, once I see it retesting and starting then to reject, going on the bullish side, I'm getting out, because then that means that price is rejecting and going the other direction. Another indicator when price is going another direction is if it goes up and above where price was previously at. So the lower high, so this will be like a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now if price is able to get up and above this previous lower high, then price is changing direction. It's usually what that means, and it's not a fake out, but it's important to wait for that confirmation so that you know. Let's jump to the 1 hour just real quick, just to peek, see if there's anything different on here. Also look at different time frames to confirm what's happening. And again, I think I talked about this on previous episodes, where I am using the daily for direction determination, the 4 hour for confluence, and then the 15-minute for execution. Okay, so let's jump over to EU. So EU, I have a fairly large interest in EU. I'm going to jump to the weekly just to give you the overall real quick. So right now it looks like a huge doji. I think that's a doji. Yeah, so I can see a little bit on the top there. So a huge doji. So now price is undecided. So what we're waiting to see is what price is going to do. It tried to push down. It was kind of a no. Tried to push up. It was kind of a no. What I would be looking for on EU is to see if price is able to get below here. So this essentially would be a level right here where price is kind of rejected. Mind you, this is on the weekly, so let me come down to the daily. So I would be waiting to see what price is going to do. If price is able to break through here and we get a retest, basically coming up here, and this is starting to now reject, then I'll be looking to get into a price on the long side, or excuse me, on the short side, on the short end. And then I'll just be using the previous higher highs and higher lows as my take profit. So we'll just have to wait. It's all a waiting game. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what's going to be happening. And then we need to double check and see what news will be happening as well. So all of you that are using fundamental news is super helpful when you're doing, when you're looking to see a setup as well, especially if it's a week where it's heavy news, and that's going to let you know whether you should be trading or you shouldn't be trading for that week, depending upon what your style is. So essentially, because there was a fairly large candle here, I'm going to be waiting, and this was a little while back, but I'm going to be waiting to see what price is going to do. If price continues to keep bouncing off of this level, then we could potentially see it getting up to another bar. Potentially getting, let me scoot it over. Potentially either a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of back and forth through and out of here, or we could see it potentially head back up, break through, come back, retest, and then we could be headed up for just a little bit. Now, I don't really see how much further up than we can go based upon where price is previously at, but we'll just have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. kind of like all the pairs. So that's EU. Let's jump over to, oops, GU. This looks wild. So let me take this off here real quick, just so that it's not super messy for us. Okay, so let me start. Let's go ahead and start on the weekly. Okay, I'm trying to get the rest of this off of here so it's not crazy. All right. Okay, so starting on the weekly on GU, consolidation. The easiest thing to do with consolidation, I probably won't set it up on the weekly because that's going to look really, really crazy, but it's easy to just simply, I'll just show you as an example since it's available, is to put a box around the consolidation. Again, I wouldn't do this on the weekly. I would either go down to the hourly, maybe the 4 hour. That's even quite a long time if you're looking to get some profit pretty quick. But set a box around your consolidation so that way, when something outside of that box starts to happen, you know that price is getting ready to move, whether it be up or down. And that's just kind of a helpful, especially if you're looking at a lot of pairs. That's just a helpful kind of indicator to keep your eyes here. Make sure that you can actually see something when something actually happens, you can see it. So that's kind of like if you have a lot of pairs that you're looking at, that will help you kind of not diversify, but kind of hone in on exactly what's happening in that particular area, just in case you've forgotten maybe the notes that you put down for that particular pair. So I'm going to take the box off just because it's on the higher time frame, and let's scoot. Where'd it go? Scoot to the daily real quick and take a peek. Okay. So let me take that guy off too. So right now it's kind of at a level that we had previously set at. I almost want to slide this up a little bit, and we'll just have to see what happens once we get past here, or if we were able to get past here. I do see that there is a little bit of rejection, so it's a possibility we could see some back and forth in here. Of course, we're just going to have to wait to see what does happen. Now on GU could have a really decent run. If it's able to go to the downside and we're able to actually get through this level that's sitting kind of right here, which is essentially at a bank level, even numbers are bank levels. If we're able to see price kind of get through here, then we will have some pretty decent pips to pick up. Of course, it's going to take some time. This is on the daily. This is not going to be on the 4 hour or the 1 hour. So it is going to take a little extra time to get all the way down there. But again, this is mostly for intraday or swing trade. I don't know if you're going to be holding your trade for a long period of time. It's closer to the swing side of the style. So let me scoot up and let's see what's going on. It seems like it's trying to reject here pretty bad. Basically making this, making down here a little bit of support, but we'll just have to see. This one's kind of moving sideways, so I probably wouldn't do too much on GU as of right now. Let me jump down to the 4 hour real quick just to take a peek. So you can, even as somebody that's going to be doing some day trading or a shorter time period of trading, there's still opportunity for you to pick up some pips even on the smaller ones, even if the market is bouncing back and forth into consolidation. So that's just something to keep in mind. I do like those larger moves. They're just, I don't know, feel better, but you can still manage to collect some pips. So we'll just have to see, because price is kind of rejected here from, about three times, 4 times if you're counting back here, 4 or 5 times. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen. But right now we're sitting in consolidation. So let's do this. Jump down to the 1, and on the 1 it looks kind of funky. Consolidation or levels. You can or consolidation or levels, a box or levels, whatever makes it most easiest for you to remember that there's something going on here that I want to keep my eye on. So because it looks better on the 4, I'm going to do this, and we're just going to use this previous box. And we'll see what happens when price actually gets out of the box. And then go from there. So that'll be for now. We'll leave it like that. That is GU. Let's squeeze over to UJ. I think I kind of did it backwards, but that's okay. Okay, so Yeah, let me remove this just in case. I didn't even see that. That must have been for a previous trade, which essentially didn't quite hit. If we had a little bit less, that's why. Okay, so let me just scoot this back. Shoot. That's why it's important, looking at this, it's important to watch. Now, there are some people that are like set it and forget it kind of people, and that's fine too. But as long as you keep an eye on your trade, you can get out, or you could have gotten out. Let's see, let me drag this guy over real quick. That's why it's important to watch it to some extent, or keep an eye on it, check in on it periodically, because had you put yourself in this position to have this, we're just gonna, for the sake of example, do something like this. If you were in this and you were watching this and it was going in your direction the last time that you looked and you were like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, but you didn't jump back in and check on it periodically, it could have got all the way like a snap before your take profit, and then you'd be looking sad because you didn't take it out at this point. So this is just an example of periodically check in, even if you're somebody that sets it and forgets it. Okay, so moving forward, let me go ahead and go back to the weekly real quick. We're going to start on the weekly just because it is a new week. Squeeze down a little bit. So last week was pretty heavy for UJ. It's almost like starting to look like how it was looking kind of last year when it was headed up and it hadn't made too many moves to the downside. Okay, so let's see. All right. So for now, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to put a box in here. I see a level sitting right around here. So I just want to mark that off, and that'll be a good place to kind of remember if price is able to get past there, then it is going in a different direction. But we'll also be wanting to check to see what happens when price gets here as well. So jumping down, right now it looks like we're bearish, right? All day. So let's jump down to the daily, take a peek. So it still looks really good for it going in the bearish direction. Of course, we'll just have to keep an eye out, see what happens when price hits here, because this was an area that kind of hit at a support and kind of rejected back up. So we'll be waiting and watching to see what price does when it gets to this level again, and then go based upon that. If price should decide to continue down, we could be looking at some pretty decent pips. We'll just have to see what price does when it gets to this area. After it's missed through here, because this is probably going to be, you're probably going to see like, okay, take profit 1 and then take profit 2. But because price was kind of bouncing around back and forth kind of in that area, it may only make it to take profit 2 if it continues down. Now, can it potentially use this space that it's currently at as support, change into support, and then scoot up to maybe either see some consolidation or break past this and then a retest and continuation? It's all very possible. So we're just gonna have to wait to see. Right now it's kind of at a place where it's just looking like it's headed in the bearish direction, but we're just gonna have to keep an eye out to see what's going to happen. I will say that EU and UJ, I have my eye on, just to kind of see what's going to happen, because potential possibility for some pips, some pretty quick pips is gonna looks pretty good for both of those two. So let's kind of continuing with what we had previously been doing. Let's jump over to gold real quick and see what that looks like. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. So gold actually looks really good. I can tell already because it has broken through a major level. Let me go to the weekly. This is just a quick preview. Gold looks good in terms of how it's doing its setup, but it does not look good in terms of where price had previously gotten to. And it's not that far away. So let me break out of here. Let me grab this guy so I can help you see, like, this is where price kind of started to kind of quit in previous times, which is like August of 2020 or 20, and then March of 2022. So this looks to be a pretty prominent area where price could potentially get to and then stop. Of course, it's going to need to do a retest. So when it goes to do that retest, you could still collect some of those pips kind of on the upside. Let me go to the daily real quick. So yeah, if you are able to be patient enough to wait for it to come back down for that retest, which may have been that little space, let's actually get down to like a 4 hour or even maybe a 1 hour to see if that was the retest. That might have, yeah. So that might have been as close as the retest is going to get. And it may not come back down. We may not see it come back down. And right now it's not gonna, it may continue and you may not see it come back down and try to, give you a higher low. At this point, it may have already done that. So I would wait. This does not even seem close to enough to, you know what I'm saying, to even risk the account. Because if you did, it would be something similar. It would have to be something similar to like this, and then your profit would be something like that. And that's like a 1-to-1. Me personally, 1-to-1s are not worth risking the health of my account. Now, to each their own, if that's what you want to do, but I feel like if you're going to go for something, make sure it's at least a 2, at least, you know. Better if it's a 3 or more, because it can be that too, but if it's a 1-to-1, I wouldn't even mess with it. So that is it for today. Again, I hope that this is super helpful for you. If it is, please leave me a comment below and let me know which part was the most helpful, which will help for future episodes. I hope you guys have a fantastic trading week. Get after it.